Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Techie Tuesdays. I'm your host S. Ravi Kumar. Techie Tuesdays is a weekly show where I answer your tech and career related queries. So if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. Now let's get started with today's questions. Today's first question is by Anish Narayan. He is asking, why is Git considered the easiest version control to use when developing an application? Anish, of course, it's a misconception that Git is an easiest version control to use. There are many version controls which are very easier to use than Git. However, Git is the most popular one because it's open source, it's distributed, and it's well suited for the corporates. Apart from that, since it is available in so many flavors like Git, the default Git engine and Git client is the one which is by default open source one. Then there is GitHub, which is again an commercialized implementation of Git. Then there is Bitbucket, then there is GitLab. So there are so many you can say commercialized version available which you can use, and because of the commonness between the uses, it's just like that you have Ubuntu Linux is very popular between Linux user because the common commands is used everywhere. In the same way, Git command can be used with any repository provider you use, any Git provider you use, like be it a GitHub, be it Bitbucket, or be it GitLabs. So that's the reason that many resources are available, and since resources are available and commercial use of them can be done easily by distributed teams, and because of all the features provided by this distributed Git system, it has become very popular and you can say choice of all the enterprises. That is the reason Git is the most popular one. It's not the easiest one. Many people don't like to cram Git commands. Like me, I personally don't like to cram Git commands. I use the easiest way of Git, that is using GUI. I haven't crammed any Git command. I don't remember any Git command. I just know how to do Git activities using the GUIs. So I would say that Git is not the easier one. There are many easier version control system available, be it your Subversion, be it CVS, or the TFS. TFS is the easiest one, which comes by default with Visual Studio, which used to come by default with Visual Studio earlier till 2015. And 2017 after onwards, Git was again integrated. So because of the popularity, I would say that it is the most popular one, but of course not the easiest one. Next question is from Ayush Singh. He's asking, to become a app developer or web developer, which one is better, a BCA or BTech in computer science? Ayush, there are many factors involved in getting either of these two jobs, be it app developer or be it web developer, like from which college you have done, what is your which is the company in which you are joining. So I would say that there are too many factors involved. So in my opinion, either one of it will do. So be it either BCA or BTech, it doesn't matter which one you complete. If you have done any one of these with good marks and from good college, you will get a job either as a web developer or as a app developer. So it's not a big deal. But if you have done BTech from premier institute like NET is there, so NET or IIT, so in that scenario, of course, you will be hired from you get a good exposure and big companies hire you from the campus itself, whereas if you are doing BCA, then I would say that in case of BCA, of course, companies doesn't like, the variation differs in both the scenarios. But as far as job is concerned, I would say that if you are good in your field, by be it app development or be it web development, if you are good in any of these fields, then of course you will get job by doing any of these degrees. So frankly speaking, as per my experience and in current scenarios, degree doesn't matters. The place from where you have done the degree, that matters more. Next question is from Jack James. He's asking, what are some benefits of using ASP.NET technology for web development? Jack, apart from being my favorite web development framework, ASP.NET gives you many features and many benefits for web development. First and foremost, it is the most performant one. Even by third party standards, like there are many performance, you can say many companies which have done performance test on .NET framework, mainly .NET Core framework. It is the most performant framework, and ASP.NET, since uses .NET Core framework, it is of course again the performant one. And as you can, I can give you one example that it is 60 times more faster than Python Django. It is 10 times more faster than Node.js, and then there are so on and so forth, many comparison which you can get from Microsoft people slides. Even in some of my slides also I have given this like these comparisons, which I don't remember exact number, I don't remember the main numbers. I told you that it is 10 times more faster than Node.js and 50 times more faster than Django. Another benefit of ASP.NET is that it is modern and it is evolving. By modern, I mean that it has all the features of a modern framework, like it is cross-platform, it supports containerization, it supports cloud native development. So it is again it's a modern framework for web development. And did I mention cloud native and containerization support? Yes, ASP.NET also supports containerization. So you can deploy ASP.NET websites or RESTful APIs. Of course, you can create RESTful APIs using ASP.NET. So you can deploy those RESTful APIs or ASP.NET MVC websites using containers on any platform, and they are by default cloud native, because using containers you can deploy it on any cloud, be it Azure, be it AWS, or be it GCP. Another benefit of using ASP.NET is that it is open source. Yes, ASP.NET is completely open source and it has large community support and third-party vendor support. So if you are using ASP.NET for web development or anything related to ASP.NET, be it ASP.NET MVC or Blazor, it is supported by community as well as third-party vendors. So you will get all the support and all the resources available for development. And since it is open source, you can also contribute to ASP.NET if you feel that some feature is missing in it. Next question is from Raghavendra. He is asking, what is a star in GitHub? Raghavendra, star is a way to bookmark a repository in GitHub. So when you star a GitHub repository, it is added to your starred repository list, which is kind of a bookmark list, that it is your bookmark repository list. You have all the starred repository list. So it's a way of bookmarking the repository for your personal use. But apart from that, it is also used as a measure to gain the popularity or gauge the popularity of a repository. So many people say that, okay, this repository has these many stars, which means that many people have marked these repository in their bookmark list. It's a way to gauge the popularity, as well as it's a way to add a repository to your bookmark list. So there are two, like you can say that two uses of star in GitHub. Number one, to bookmark it. From the personal point of view, you can say that it is a way to bookmark a repository to your stars list. And number two, for a public or open source repository, it's a way to gauge the popularity of the repository, that how many people have marked it as their favorite repository or starred repository. Next question is from Pranay. He's asking, what are the freelancing jobs one can do that don't require a degree? Pranay, none of the freelancing jobs published on any freelancing website mention anything about the degree of the person who is going to do that job. So there is no mention of degree. So in my opinion, or as far as I know, none of the freelancing jobs require any degree. All the all the freelancing jobs don't require any kind of degree. What they need is a skill. So what they need is your portfolio. So in order to do a freelancing job, you should have a skill set and a portfolio to showcase that skill set. So if you are a designer, you should have design samples or website ready with design samples to showcase your design skills. If you are a programmer, you should have a GitHub profile with open source contribution or with open source project, or you should have access to your all the work you have done or all the development you have done. So list of the sites which you have developed and somehow a way to explain the code. If you are bounded by NDA, then a way to explain what you have done. So you should have knowledge of all the things. What freelancing people need, or what a freelancing company needs, is basically a skill. They don't ask for a degree in any of their freelancing job description. However, having a degree or certification of the skills which is asked in the freelancing job description would be an added advantage. But as I said, none of the job description mention anything about a degree required for that particular job. So yes, you can do any kind of freelancing work without any degree, but having a degree would be an added advantage. Next question is from Luke J. Spector. He's asking, I have a programming framework and standard which I have used for 10 years. I would like to open source for community and improve it further. Where should I start? Luke, you can start with open sourcing it on GitHub, as GitHub is the place, or you can say that most popular place to host your open source projects. So you can start with hosting your repository, the code of your framework as well as standard on GitHub, along with proper documentation, wiki and everything. So I think you can start with GitHub, and then after that start promoting that framework, because just hosting it on GitHub will not work. You need to promote that framework, probably contact with the people who are in the technology of that framework. So if your framework is utilizing .NET, probably you should contact .NET guys on Twitter and ask them that I have created this framework which I am using since last 10 years, and it has so many features and it can be utilized in this particular business domain and in such a way and all those things. So promote your framework. So step number 1, host it on GitHub. Step number 2, promote it with the people of that particular technology of the framework on Twitter as well as Facebook, or I can say in the simple way that promote it on all of the social media, that you have this framework and you want people to join or use that framework. Along with hosting it on GitHub and promoting it on social media, you can also create a Discord or Gitter server for your framework, where you can answer questions and help other people use that framework or learn that framework in a better way. So to open source your framework, you have to follow 3 steps. Number 1, publish it on GitHub with proper documentation and guidance. Number 2, publish it, or you can say market it on all the social media platforms you know of. And number 3, create a Discord or Gitter group where you can live communicate with the people who are using that framework. So these were my answers to your tech and career related queries in this episode of Techie Tuesdays. If you want your questions to be answered in next episode of Techie Tuesdays, you can DM me your questions with hashtag Techie Tuesdays on any social media platform. All my social media handles are Techie Rathor. I hope you like my answers, and if you like my answers, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, family and colleagues. So until my next video, take care, bye bye.